How to overcome your fear of contracts and attorneys as a creative business owner. Being a creative business owner can really have its challenges. You have to deal with compliance, the business, infrastructure, not to mention actually get the job done as well. And that can really be overwhelming. Not to mention the big decisions that you have to make as a creative business owner. But I think the biggest problem is that you are being exposed to new areas that you might not usually be exposed to or that you are not an expert in. So contracts, attorneys, tax, compliance, aspects of law and company infrastructure that you were not familiar with or that you have to grow in as a business owner. That is one of the biggest challenges as an entrepreneur and as a creative business owner. But the problem is that you are going to have to deal with contracts and with attorneys at some point or another. And I know they can be very scary, and I know that it is areas that you don't have any experience in, so you don't really know what you don't know. But you are going to have to overcome that fear. And I'm going to tell you exactly how you're going to do that today. First of all, one of the key aspects of overcoming that fear of contracts and attorneys, not to mention the other fields, so say compliance and your infrastructure and business policies, is to actually get knowledge. Make sure that you are getting knowledge, that you are reading up about being a business owner, that you are getting experience in those certain aspects of your business. If you are following me on the legal stuff, then you have already made that change in your business and you are gearing yourself up and making sure that you are getting the information that you need as a business owner. But knowledge is what's going to set you apart from the rest of the businesses, because that enables you to make good decisions. It enables you to make informed decisions. If we want to buy a product, then we will go read blogs and opinions, ask friends. We would get all of this information before we make decisions about what we are going to buy. And that's the same when you are dealing with attorneys and contracts and compliance, is that you need to get that information. You need to read up about it and you need to become informed. That is the only way in which you are going to make good decisions. The next step is that obviously you need to focus on the benefit of what it is going to have for you. And that can sometimes really be overlooked because we just focus on this cost that we have to pay to have an attorney or to have a contract, and it sometimes just feels a little bit like a grudge purchase. And I get you, but you need to focus on the benefit that it is actually going to provide to you and your business, because it's not just about a benefit of having a contract that is really going to be protecting you on a rainy day, but it is also about you setting the tone for your business, for your procedures, for your clients, and how you are going to be doing that business. It is about you investing in the infrastructure of your business. We generally feel more secure if we deal with businesses that provide us with contracts, with policies, and we know what we are getting ourselves into. And that is the same for your clients. A good example is always if you are dealing with an insurance company and you just had to make a phone call and that broker had said to you, that's fine, you have insurance cover for X, Y, and Z, and you put the phone down and you move on. Does that then mean that the deal is done? What does that mean? But if he sends you a policy confirming your discussions, confirming your monthly premium, confirming the debit order date, then immediately you are going to feel a lot more secure when dealing with that business. And we as entrepreneurs sometimes overlook the fact that we are a business, just as any other big business in South Africa. And that means that you need to focus on the benefit and you need to implement that structure into your company. If you want to have the same effect as any other business, you need to provide that to your client. So focus on the benefit that far exceeds the actual cost of getting an attorney and getting a contract, whatever it is that you are implementing in your business. Make sure you focus on the fact that you are investing in your company. It's a long-term investment, not to mention that you are actually securing the exposure of your company towards liability, costs, unforeseen circumstances. That is what you need to focus on when you are considering dealing with your fear of contracts and attorneys. That also brings me to the next step, that it can also be very overwhelming considering that you need to have a business policy, you need to have a privacy policy, you have clients, you have vendors, distributors, manufacturers, whatever it is that you have in your company. And Rome wasn't built in a day. You need to take it step by step. So if you want to overcome your fear of contracts and of attorneys, then you need to implement milestones into your business. As with any project in any company, you need to make sure that you have goals and deadlines and that you meet the project requirements. So if you have a small business, I want you to consider all the business relationships that you have in your company. So that might be you and your client. That might be a service provider. That might be your landlord. That might be your tax practitioner, your attorney, your staff, whoever is part of your business and whoever you have a business relationship with, that is going to be part of your project. So that is going to be part of the milestones that you need to put into place. So I would suggest that you have a look at all your business relationships and then prioritize them. Make sure that you put the most important ones first and then you schedule it accordingly. So give yourself this 2021 to get compliant and to put into place what you need to put in place. So first of all, maybe set the date for the 1st of July becoming compliant with your privacy policies. Then for August, set into motion that you have a contract with your clients by that time and have migrated existing clients. Then maybe by November, all your vendors, distributors, manufacturers, have them all on contracts. As you can see, you don't have to have everything done today. So don't stare into that huge goal that is really not going to happen in one day. You need to schedule time into your calendar so that you can actually get to that project that you want to get to. As with all other companies, they have compliance departments and legal departments, and they slowly but surely have built up that compliance infrastructure and legal infrastructure into their business. So don't stare into the face of this huge task that you are not going to get around to. Break it down into bite sizes and schedule it throughout the year so that you can make sure by 2022 you are compliant and that you have all your legal ducks in a row when it comes to your infrastructure, clients, all of your business relationships. So next up is to be prepared. We've discussed the fact that you need to have knowledge and you need to be able to focus on the benefit of that, and then you need to structure it into smaller bite sizes and make it into milestones. But once you are ready and you've kind of formulated a plan and you've set into motion that you do want to meet with an attorney, make sure that you are prepared for that meeting. Make the most of a meeting with your attorney. You need to put together the questions that you need to ask them, and you need to make sure that that attorney is going to answer all of your questions. So what you need to do in order to prepare for that meeting is to make a list of all the issues that you have in your business, things that bother you, boundaries that are being overstepped that is an issue to you, costs. If you keep on having clients that are defaulting on a certain payment or a certain instruction, then it might be that your infrastructure is not facilitating a platform for that client to be able to communicate whatever it is he needs to communicate with you. So to be prepared for that meeting with your attorney is going to be absolutely golden for you, because you are walking in knowing what it is that you want out of this meeting, what it is that you want to figure out and have controlled in your business. What are the clauses that you need to include? So to be prepared for your meeting, sit and prepare. Make sure you ask yourself the questions of your business relationships. Make a list of the boundaries that are being overstepped. Make a list of the issues that you're experiencing. Make a list of the things that you feel unsure about in terms of legal and compliance and whether you are dealing with it correctly. The same goes with when client breaches certain aspects of your contract. Make sure that you get the knowledge and that you have that questions prepared for your attorney so that they can help you to deal with a difficult client or deal with the breach of contract in the appropriate manner. Lastly, don't pay the school fees. More often than not, I find that people have not implemented what they needed to do and they haven't put into place those contracts, and now after the fact they are paying school fees to attorneys because they didn't have contracts into place. And because of that, they have this fear of attorneys, because the general term for attorneys are people that overcharge you and just want to take you for a ride and, ask excessive fees. But the majority of the time, it is because we need to fix a problem that could have been prevented. So prevention is the key to being successful. And don't make the same mistake as every other business. Be prepared. Implement what you need to implement into your business. Take the time and spend the money on putting the procedures in place before the problem arises, because after the fact, you are only paying school fees about things that you knew you had to do, and now the cost is far more than what it would have been if you had just paid the price up front to make sure that you do have everything in place, that you've implemented your contracts and everything secures your business. If you don't know where to start and you don't know what goes where, what do I need to do, why not just send me a direct message on Instagram and set up a consultation. Let's have a look at your business, what you need, what you don't need, how everything needs to be implemented into your business so that you are compliant by 2022 and that you are ready for business. So overcoming that fear of contracts and attorneys is really up to you. It is up to you to take charge of that decision that you want to overcome this fear, and I want to make sure that my business is the best that it can be. And you know that having a legal and compliant business is going to be the best business that you can have.